So here's another thing that I've also really discovered that I think is really key for generators that we miss out on, and that is that the sacral, whether you're emotionally defined or not, is only in the now. But we've all, again through no fault of our own, have lost track of our connection to the now. We don't actually understand where we actually are, like physically, right? Like just to be physically aware of our environment and being in our space and having that connection to like what it means to be alive, like physically alive. Right? I'm not talking about mentally or the ideas of all the things of what it means to be human, but what is it like to have like real contact in life, right? And so that's been another key for me, is learning to continually orient my attention into the present moment, which is a challenge as an emotional being because I've got a whole thing going on, as you mentioned, right? But the sacral loves that, because the sacral, that's where it lives. By being connected to the now and being connected to my actual experience of my body, I can start tuning into what I truly find satisfying. So in the beginning, I was told to look for my frustration and my resistance, which I really appreciated, because a lot of times, especially as a 1-3, we're here to figure out what doesn't work, right?
Yes.
So, okay, so that's not working. This isn't working. Feeling a lot of these pieces. So then, as I got deeper into my experiment, by some grace, I read, okay, wait to respond, wait some more as an emotional being. I'm a manifesting generator, satisfaction and peace, right, are my keynotes. But I just kind of skipped over that because I was so paying attention to frustration and anger because it was much higher in my system, right? So then, by some act of grace, I started turning my attention to what do I find satisfying in this body? When we start tuning it to what we find satisfying, it responds more. The
Totally,
response
yes.
starts to come, right? It's one of those pieces where it's like, I find that just the simplicity of this tea, I find really satisfying. And so then in my life, I'm actually looking for that. That's a quality that becomes an imprint on my cells and in my system, and therefore I'm looking for that which is satisfying in my life, instead of instead of looking for the frustration, right? So it's this piece where, and that's actually what I work with my clients all the time with, because we don't actually know what's satisfying to us. So learning in a safe and comfortable way how to connect to your own sense of satisfaction and pleasure is a really important part of the process that I've found.